All right. Now, I tell you what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to do something I don't normally. I'm going to read a little bit of a longer email. I want you to stay with me. This is really cool. This is going to encourage you working moms. This email comes in from Jennifer. She says, Ken, I'm writing to you as I fly back from Guatemala. The way that I pursue my purpose is through caring for my 7 children, writing, speaking, and using my dietetics degree to fight malnutrition in forgotten communities in rural Guatemala. Hello. Jennifer ought to be nominated for a CNN Hero Award, huh? I've been working on a project to utilize family gardens to sustainably fight malnutrition and mental stunting in children and families in Guatemala. She goes on to say it's taken 3 years to get this project really funded and structured and actually making some progress. In the past months, there were some hiccups, so I had to make a last-minute trip to Guatemala this past week. 1 hour before we headed out to the field, so she's on the ground in Guatemala, and she's about ready to head out and do what it is that she's supposed to be doing here. She gets notice that her 9-year-old daughter had thrown up at school and needed to be picked up. And so now here comes the mom guilt. Then the next day, her 4-year-old daughter comes down with croup. More mom guilt. Ripping her heart out. Not there for her babies. My husband was able to make arrangements at work and step in to help with what I needed, but my guilt was sky high. He kept texting me, telling me not to worry, that everything was great there, and multiple times he told me not to feel guilty. But despite this, I was really struggling emotionally. Now, I want you to listen to the questions that her mind were just bouncing around. Who did I think I was, traveling across the world and leaving my kids at home? I'm just one person. What good would my tiny efforts do in this vast black hole of world hunger? Should I just walk away from this part of my purpose and focus on my kids full time? Well, folks, this is real. And you have some of the same voices. Maybe the details are different. Maybe the attitude and the questions a slight bit different. But nonetheless, the voices of doubt. Here's Jennifer in Guatemala doing something that she's already identified as something she's deeply passionate about, and she's having some success, and she is making a difference, even if she saves the life of one child or changes the health and nutrition of a family. That's life and world change. And yet here she is going, my 4-year-old's got croup. My other daughter threw up. I'm not there. My kids are wondering why I'm not there. They think I'm a horrible mom. What am I doing here? You see where this thing's running wild? So she said, one of the days in Guatemala, I was on a morning run, and I'm scrolling through my podcast list and came across your October 23rd, 2018 episode that was titled, Moms, Are You Dealing with Career Guilt? That was the episode that I shared another email from a listener. And anyway, hit her right where she's at. She said, I've replayed that part of the podcast over and over throughout this week to help me recenter and be able to open myself up to the multi-dimensional person that God wants me to be. I love this email from Jen. She is multi-dimensional. You are multi-dimensional. And there are times where you are fully focused on one of those dimensions and stuff is going to go down in those other areas and you're not going to be able to be there. And in that moment, doubt surfaces its ugly, nasty, I hate doubt. Can I just say that? Like, by the way, if you're looking for somebody to be just hacked off at in 2018, how about doubt and fear and insecurity? How about that? I absolutely freaking hate doubt. Everybody clear on that? Because doubt it's just obnoxious. She's in Guatemala helping poor families get the nutrition they need to be able to sustain their lives and who knows do what they're called to do. She is literally giving life. And yet in the middle of that, doubt, not Jen, not Jennifer, she didn't do this, doubt did this. She's awesome. She's got 7 kids. She's freaking Superwoman. And Doubt has the nerve to poke up his ugly, nasty head and go, you can't do anything out here. What are you doing here? You're not changing the world. Can I just tell you, folks? You don't have to agree with me because I don't care. But I'm going to tell you the truth. In that moment when Doubt pops up on Jennifer's shoulder in Guatemala and is trying to turn her head and heart from the work that she was created to do to change lives, that is coming from the pit of hell. And I mean real hell. I believe it is absolutely demonic and it is absolutely a lie. Now, listen, you don't have to agree with me, but I don't care. I don't care if you don't agree with that. That's the truth. And you don't have to be a person of faith. You don't even have to call yourself a spiritual person. You don't have to call yourself a Christian. You don't have to ever go to church a day in your life to know that I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling the truth. And it makes me angry. And I'm here for you people who are experiencing doubt. Call me. I'll take on doubt, not you. Give me a chance to punch your doubt right in the nose. And I love it that Jen realized by this little radio show and then little white guy here behind the mic, I'm glad to play that role, to remind you and Jen that doubt is a lie. Fear is a lie. So Jen, way to go. You will never know this side of heaven what your impact truly is. You just won't. Now, you're going to see the results. You're seeing results. But when you got to be away from those babies and your husband doing work that you were created to do, you got to trust that there's a bigger plan at play and that they're going to be okay. And by the way, the kids were fine. And I'm not going to read the rest of the email, but she's on a plane emailing the show, and she's excited to get back and see her family. But not only is she excited to see the family, her heart's also full because of what she left behind, the work she did in Guatemala. Now that's the whole person. She's not just a wife. She's not just a mom. She is a crusader that's doing work that absolutely must be done. If not Jen, then who? See? Now, that's what you got to do with doubt. You just got to call him some names, make fun of him a little bit, and fight him. Because doubt's got terrible reasoning, awful logic.